So it is indeed that time. We are going to be doing a top 10 Dokkan Festival tier list. I feel like we've received I've basically like a couple of TURs and extra teams at this point that I feel it's comfortable enough to go ahead and add an updated version of my list here. So we'll just hop right into it, right? Just a general top 10. I think a lot has really changed for the game. That led to different situations and me putting different units. I'm going to go ahead and start off with number 10. My number 10 is actually going to be, where is this unit actually? I can't absolutely find them. This is like ordered by like character name, I guess. My number 10 is going to be Pan, right? Dokkan Festival Pan right here. I think she's actually still really good. It just, especially offensively, and she got a really huge help from obviously Goku GT, right? I mean, if you guys aren't aware, many people agree that Goku GT again has to be in the name, but that is basically agreed upon wherever this unit is. Okay, there's all the way down here. This unit, a lot of people do agree this unit is the best unit in the game, or at the very least, if you think this unit is top 3. I haven't seen anyone consider this unit anything lower than top 3. Most people agree that this unit is number 1, right? This damage reduction, everything like that, and that leads to a lot about why Pan is so good herself. There she is right there. I guess she was in order right there, but yeah, Pan can look very strong with the active skill, especially because again she can get the additional unit super attack, which gives her a little bit extra attack stacking, which I feel like does matter overall. And this right here just makes her hit so hard. She does a lot of damage in this turn right here. Her damage potential is insane. Again, the biggest issue with this unit is this right here. I just not a big fan of it. I feel like she should have just had 50% damage reduction just in slot 1, right? That would have been fine. Like, she would have actually been probably jumped up like 5 spots on this list even. Like, she would be pretty absurd if she had that damage reduction before and after attacking, but she should have had that, right? I don't see a reason why they limited her like that, especially because like sure, like we think of like the new Dokkanfest God Goku, he has a similar ability like that, but that's near the end of the fight as a finisher. This panel has that the entire fight, and like I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of that, especially since she has to again build up over time. But yeah, I like this pan. I think a little more than people give her credit for. I think she's better. I actually really like her leader skill. I think her leader skill is also a little underrated. The 30% is not the greatest, but again, Bond of Friendship is basically all these Gokus and, you know, yeah, basically all the Gokus, right? And we've been getting a lot of strong Goku units very recently, so I think this pan, it definitely does deserve to be in top 10. She's right there at the edge, but she's right there at the very least, right? I think she's deserving to be one of the best TURs in the game. Next, we do have Dokkan Festival Captain Ginyu. Now, I was thinking about it like right after I started the video. Should I move Pan above Ginyu? I feel like maybe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I feel like Ginyu is still better, just especially as a unit overall. He's just doing too much. He's supporting. He's still stacking defense. His team, you know, obviously, I feel like Pan's team and her setups are better than the Ginyu Force team. Like if you're running like next to the GT Super Saiyan, the GT Goku and Vegeta, right? Like better than the Ginyu team for sure. But this team can still beat any event in the game pretty easily. He again, especially because of his support ability, he can also have a heal when he transforms in the Goku Ginyu. He can get the scouter ability. He has evasion. Just overall really good unit. It's just that again, he has issues with links, and he's very restricted to the Ginyu Force team because he's really dependent on how good this team is. If this team's really good, he's really good. And I still feel like Jason Birder and then Rakumen Godo, they're still really powerful units. These two are actually still pretty solid as well. They could tank a lot of these difficult bosses' normal attacks, but you can run into trouble at times. I don't know. Maybe I should I put Pan above. I'll think about it by the end of the list, maybe. But I think I do like Ginyu above Pan still. Yeah, I feel like Ginyu's just a better unit overall. Like when you actually use them in the game, you just feel Ginyu is stronger. So yeah, I think I feel comfortable with Ginyu above Pan. But again, let me know what y'all think. I haven't really used Pan too much with the new GT Super Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but she's obviously gotten a lot better with them being in the game for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Ginyu there. I mean, we know about what Ginyu and what he does. We know really what Pan does and stuff like that. So next we have Majin Vegeta. Again, we know what Majin Vegeta does. Now, previously, I think I did have Majin Vegeta under Ginyu, but again, I just feel like Ginyu team is just not as effective as these other teams that Vegeta could be on. LR Vegeta and Trunks just get better like every release basically. Like literally this release with the God Goku, Vegeta and Trunks got better. 8th anniversary, Vegeta and Trunks got really good as well. Like in terms of his utility. And if you have Vegeta and Trunks on the team, you can run this guy on the team. He's creating in-key spheres for, you know, your units to be able to heal. He has 50% damage reduction, and, you know, if you're running him as a floater, once he super attacks, he can tank very well. He's on a lot of these category teams, and if like a solid amount of them, the Vegeta and Trunks do fit on there. This guy is obviously, you know, depending on how good Trunks is what this guy, you know, his power level is. Like, it's kind of crazy that his release date actually basically an entire year ago. Maybe I should do a revisiting on him. Let me know if you want to see that. But his release date again over a year ago, there's no good Trunks, so he basically kind of fell flat in the water. I felt like even like Angel Trunks at the time was like a better performing unit overall than him, even though it's a 200% leader skill. Just very weird release. But now he's really powerful because of that Vegeta and Trunks. Such an influential unit for this guy. Like, without that unit, it's like this guy wouldn't even be on the list at all. He'd be pretty mediocre. The active skill's cool, but it's not really anything that you're gonna... Like, the active skill's nice for, like, a little touch right there, but this guy I view as a mainly defensive unit. His leader skill is pretty bad, though. I feel like overall, like, Majin Buu Saga is not there. Vegeta's family not really there. But, I mean, like, I feel like this Ginyu's leader skill isn't, like, better than Pan's or anything. Like, if Pan's leader skill was against these two and this best leader skill, like, it'd be like this. But, yeah, again, we know what Majin Vegeta does. We know how he tanks. I feel like a lot of you guys are aware of these units that are basically a year old at this point, right? Now we have the 17s. So this is a newer unit I can go a little more into depth about. I actually haven't talked about them in an actual top 10 tier list. This unit frustrates me a lot with their design. It just... Especially now that God Goku's come out, and I could be like, okay, we have a better grasp at how these 2023 TURs are looking like, since we have God Goku and this Super 17 finally out here, and, you know, they're like on the level-ish kind of like the recent units we've been getting. But I just hate this restriction. This restriction sucks. I hate this restriction. This restriction sucks. The leader skill is very badly thought around. They should have been like a triple category leader skill and had 2 separate buffs here. They should have gone like the EZA for the celebration MVP physical 17 could have been nice. Like, but this sucks. Join forces could have been an interesting leader skill. You could throw some of these super class join forces on the team. I mean, literally the 8th anniversary units are on this team, but you can't run them because, again, you want to be using a full extreme class. Again, I guess it's not the biggest stuff you miss out on this, given that they get their dodge chance, but I don't know. And then they get additional super attack, which again could be pretty good, but there has to be a super class enemy, and there's no real difficult super class enemy in the game. The bad unit that came out to support them directly also again wants to be against the Goku specifically, which is even more restrictive. And then Super 17 himself is really good. Like, Super 17, once you get him out, he's like Gamma 2, Gamma 1 level, right? You know, those kind of units. But I feel like it's just so much effort to get him out. The team build you have to run for him to look really good is just not... It's not even up to par with, like... Is it even better than the Ginyu Force team? I don't know. I don't even know. No, their team is not even better than the Ginyu Force team. Target Goku is pretty bad right now, right? Target Goku Android specifically, right? Like, this unit should have gotten an EZA. Like, the tech androids and the drone 19 are nice, right? They can still be running content, but it's not like, you know, they're, again, like these gamma level units, right? And an issue is that a lot of these androids you would use to get this guy, like android assault, shocking speed, you know, these two are very important links, I feel like, for these android units. You can't even get because you you have to run full extreme class basically for this guy to look really, you know, good, or at least be runnable in their base form. Especially if you're thinking about free dupe, bro. I don't know. Not a fan of this overall unit's design. It holds him back really badly. This unit's at 7. I still think Super 17. If you once you get this guy out, he's really good. And the funny thing about this guy, he has a stupid restriction on his HP recovery, but then even when he like nullifies and recovers HP, like this doesn't even do anything because he has the damage reduction. Right, he has this with 34 plus the 17% reductions. That's what 51% reduction in the first 4 turns. You're usually gonna see this absorption like the very first turn, and probably not really for the rest of the battle. So you're gonna heal like 10k HP from like a super attack, even if you absorb it. And it's like, okay, well, it was kind of designed for you to heal back to recovery when you're under this threshold, but you're not even gonna heal from it. So what's the point? It's just dumb. I already showed it, but next is Yamcha. I almost said Raditz. No, Yamcha's next here. I don't know. Those 17s really annoy me, but Yamcha I feel like is a much better design unit. Again, like for example, he wants to be used on Earthbred Fighters, which is actually a good team, and there's good units on there, and they actually like buffed this team. They gave this team love. Obviously, it's Earthbred Fighters, like really good category team, right? This chapter is just overall good, right? He has the evasion in him. He could build up the extra evasion, though this doesn't actually, where is it? This right here doesn't actually add on to the evasion that he would get right here. Where is it? The high chance to evade enemy's attacks. If that added on, that would be so much better. This chapter is really good. He's just doing a lot, but I don't know. His link set's wonky. He's not really in a lot of different setups. I just feel like you kind of have to build around him if you're running the Yamcha team. Like he could be a nice floater, but it's like he's not really contributing to the team like that. I think he wants to be a unit you kind of build around, and Yamcha's definitely good enough to build around, I'm telling y'all. Especially in the first 4 turns, he is cooking really hard with this extra buff. This is pretty nasty on him, and once you get this built up as well, he could do some really good attack stats, like 10-12 mil attack stats. He could super attack 4 times. He has his initial super. He does this additional attack that's high chance to become a super. He has another one if he evades an attack at the turn, and then his hidden potential. Then he has this spirit ball. Not really like a great thing. It does give him an extra 10% chance to dodge before he evades, right? But I don't know, guaranteed to hit doesn't really matter. If this should have been crit, the spirit ball is not really that big of a deal as well. But the Yamcha, just his stats overall is really good, and he can cook for sure. Yamcha is more of a straightforward unit than I feel like, you know, Majin Vegeta or the 17s, right? He's just good, right? That's really it. You just use him, even Yajirobe on the team. His link set's not as wonky as you know, I'm saying, right? Because if you take a look here, right, Yamcha actually links really well with one of the 200% leaders that we got during the anniversary, which is the Kai Goku, right? He links pretty well with him, if I'm not mistaken. Well, pretty well I say, but it's 3 links, but these links are pretty strong. No key though, huh? Okay, it's not as good as I was thinking. Never mind, maybe, but this chapter I like him. I do like him better than 17 stuff. So next I have Bardock. Yeah, Dokkan Festival Bardock at our number 5 spot now, so we're about halfway through the list. The reason I like Bardock over Yamcha is because of Scouter, really, and Goku. Like, this is such an easy condition. If you guys aren't aware, we've been getting a lot of Gokus recently. God Goku, Kai Goku, both 8th anniversary part 1 units. There's been tons of Goku coming around. This guy, like a lot of his teams, I feel like, you know, are relevant. Like, we got a new Pure Saiyans leader now. Who leads Goku family again? I forgot who leads Goku family. But yeah, he's the Goku family leader. Actually, his leader skill is really good. I think that Bond of Parent and Child is really good right now. Though I guess the rest aren't really kind of there. Yeah, actually, the rest of these teams are kind of there, but he is helping out a lot of these weaker teams. I feel like Space Traveling Wars, we can get into lead for it soon, right? A lot of these teams have been getting a lot of different like leader skills added to them. So he's on a lot of relevant teams is what I'd say. And as long as you have a Goku in the turn, on the team I mean, he gets the Scouter for 5 turns. This is such a powerful ability. And the Rainbow Orb changing on top of that is really good for the team. Now, stat-wise, he's not as good as these two. But I think, like, him providing a role like that, the Scouter, just for free 5 turns and Rainbow Orb changing, and he could be enough defensively to tank normal attacks in like these very difficult end of the bosses, even in shorter content, right? This Bardock is quite amazing, right? Maybe not on the lower end dupe wise, but especially if you have dupes in this guy, he could look really strong. And again, his leader skill itself is also really, really good. Though I feel like it's kind of weird to say, but even though Bardock has a scouter, I would prefer running him on another team, like throwing him on Pure Saiyans or Bond Parent and Child, rather than running his own leader skill, although it definitely is very good and you could use it to clear like any event in the game very easily. I just feel more comfortable having one Bardock on the team than two. Just with how he's, you know, kind of designed here, he can't really tank these supers, so obviously 2 Bardocks would mean more of a chance you could technically, I guess, not really, because he has a scouter, but I don't know, maybe I'm capping. Yeah, actually, no, that was kind of cap right there, I'll be completely honest. Like, it's funny recording these videos because I just think of another thing, but like, you guys kind of see my point, like, where you have 2 Bardocks, so technically you would have a bigger chance of getting caught, but not really, because you have the scouter in the first place to prevent him from getting caught. But I can get into a whole thing, but it'll just add extra time to the video. We're already 60 minutes in, so yeah, I think this Bardock's 5. He has these generic Saiyan links. He's gonna be on a lot of these generic Saiyan teams, and I think that's another reason why I like him like above these 2, because he's just your typical Saiyan unit, right? And he's providing a role that other units aren't doing. Like, besides STR Corner of Goku, this is the only good scouter unit we have in game that like provides scouter when you're off the rotation. We have Chilai, very, very good scouter unit, but that's only when she's on rotation. This Bardock scouter does last even outside of him being on the rotation, so he's helping the team in other rotations even when he's not there, which is very influential, right? It's much different than if his scouter is only when he's on a rotation, which would make him infinitely worse. So our number 4 spot, we have a Gamma 2 here. So again, I don't really think I have to explain Gamma 2. He's also like not nearly as new as Bardock is like on global, for instance. He's on both versions, and you know, Bardock is a unit that I feel like people do kind of underrate just a little. Gamma 2 is really good, incredible leader skill, his mega additional super attacks, right? He could do like 5-10 mil super attacks basically in a turn. On the second turn he's on, and then he's just going crazy. He has the crit chance built in as well. He does so much damage, and people forget this guy does still have the 50% chance to nullify Ki Blast super attacks. We've been getting some bosses that don't do that, but you know, there are some bosses that still do that, like the Broly red zone, right? Very, very prominent. You can get that off in there, and I'm sure there'll be going to be other red zones in the future that do have this Ki Blast nullification that you can take advantage of, so that'll be really good for him. This Gamma 2 is really, really good. He's also a support unit, right? Having that support unit is really good. The one thing about him is his link stat, and that will lead me into my number 3 spot, right? I have Gamma 1 and number 3 as well. I just think that those two together, I don't want to separate them because they're both very, very powerful, obviously, but they really want to be used next together. Now, I feel like you don't have to, right? I feel like if you have like Android Assault, Shocking Speed, and First Battle active with Gamma 2 right here, he's good enough. I ran like a team build when I was trying out MVP 17, where I had Kid Goku and Hachan on one rotation. I had a Gamma 1 and then 17 on the other rotation. And then I had Gamma 2 as the floaters. Gamma 2 can link up with Gamma 1 on one rotation, and then on the other rotation, even if you couldn't get the links with Hachan, you had the Kid Goku's like damage reduction, which I feel like worked out pretty well. And even 17 again still gets this guy Android Assault, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle with the defense support, right? I think MVP 17's release actually made this guy better as an Android's leader, right? And Androids itself, again, like if you're thinking about Android team specifically, this unit's really good. You have the 2 Gammas to help out, right? Those are 3 extra options compared to like what the 17s have, right? It's such a major difference for this unit. I'm a fan of this unit for sure. He's really, really good. Good animations as well. Doesn't really have to do with the unit like in game, but I'm sure we all know how powerful this guy is. Same with this guy. I don't really think I have to talk too much. He's basically the defensive version of Gamma 2, where he's incredibly tanky. He has the guard for the first 4 turns. He has to get hit 5 times, but once he does do that, he gets a really good defensive stat. And then he gets the 50% damage reduction. Very powerful. His defensive links, right, very, very good as well. Like, what, he could potentially get 20, that's what, 45, that's 55, 60% defense from his links, right? That's a lot. That's a lot for this guy. He's supporting 1 key and 30% defense to everyone. Yeah, his disability doesn't really matter, right? Alright, sorry if you heard that. Something turned on in the background. I was like, what was that? So I went to go check it out, but we're good. But yeah, I completely lost my thought process when I left right there. He does actually do pretty solid damage as well. I feel like people don't really talk about it, but this dude could be hitting like a 10 mil attack stat, like pretty easily. Even I've seen him get a side like 11, 12 mil with, you know, like even like support members and stuff, but with like the amount of defense he has, now that's really good. And these guys as supports, I don't know, just we know how good these guys are. I feel like their units, again, I don't really have to explain why I have them at this spot, right? I don't want to separate them. I know a lot of people have this guy, Dokkanfest Kid Goku, at like, a lot of people have like Gamma 2, the Dokkanfest Kid Goku between Gamma 1. I disagree, especially now. Again, the game has gone obviously very more sane focused. Who's shocked that the game is focused on these scenes a lot? But this Kid Goku, just like I feel like every release he gets better, because a lot of these units have these really strong defensive tech. Like, okay, let's talk about when he released, right? Dokkanfest Kid Goku came out. The next release, both Gammas came out, especially Gamma 2. Gamma 1, I mean, really benefits from his, you know, orb changing, right? Dokkanfest Tech Bardock does benefit, I feel like, a little from his damage reduction support. After that, we had a Hero Celebration. Didn't really get anything from it. Yamcha, I feel like Yamcha, you know, this guy in the Yamcha's team really does cook the, what is it again? Brain work, the Earthbred Fighters team. He really does cook there. He works well with the Carnival Goku, the 8th anniversary units. He actually works well with the physical LR Ultimate Gohan. I think a lot of people actually do like running physical Ultimate Gohan under this guy's leader skill. Works pretty well. And AJLR Gohan came out, works really well with this guy. You know, the Tech Carnival Goku could work really well on this guy's team. Ijo Hachan, some people do consider him like an top 5 bounty unit at bare minimum, right? The Ijo Hachan is insane. He's able to tank anything in the game. This Kid Goku does some pretty solid damage. He could tank even like a lot of these very difficult bosses' super attacks. Like, I've had this Kid Goku before tank the Metal Cooler Core super attack, given how to get a lot of this damage reduction with the Rainbow Key Spheres, but he does have that in him. He's doing a lot, right? I think the issue with him, links could be an issue, you could say, but he's a Rainbow Orb Changer. He just Rainbow Orb changes, which is very important for a lot of these influential units. Again, another unit I'm thinking about, the Dokkan Festival, you know, 8th anniversary LRs, basically. Both of them do benefit from this Kid Goku's damage reduction support. There's, to so many of these units, the new, I guess, I might as well talk about number 1. This guy isn't our number 1, obviously, right? He's gonna be on the thumbnail and everything. This God Goku benefits from this Kid Goku's release, right? This God Goku's actually under his 200% leader skill, and he's under this God Goku's 200% leader skill. So they help each other a lot, because this guy getting, again, we'll talk about it, but the 6 key spheres is very important. This guy is one of his best friends to get it off. I think that's a big influential reason why I have this Kid Goku at 2 now. Well, I kind of always liked him better than Gamma 1, just because I think his value and what it's providing, he's doing something that no other unit does in the game. And this is powerful. Some people will say, oh, 8% is not really that big of a deal. And like a vacuum, yeah. But with the amount of defensive tech some of these units are doing, adding the extra 8% damage reduction makes a pretty big difference. Like, going from, like, say, 30 to 38% reduction, going from like 50 to 58% reduction, getting like guard to guard with even the 8% reduction, that adds a lot, right? That does matter, having that 8% damage reduction. So really good for this Kid Goku. Big fan of him. Again, I'm sure a lot of you guys know about him, but okay, we'll talk about the LR God Goku real quick. The Dokkan Festival Super Saiyan God Goku. I'm sure a lot of us are using him at this point, but just straight down the line, dumb leader skill, best leader skill probably in the game, you could say. Yeah, is his leader skill like the best of the game? It could be. just a stupid good leader skill. He's stacking. He's creating key spheres for very easy active skill conditions. 6 super class units. Oh no, what are we gonna do? He gets 60% chance to dodge. He has a guard. He double supers every turn guaranteed. He's hitting like 10 mil attack stats, right? Even at free dupe, once he gets this ability in there, he could hit like 10 mil attack stats too, like triple 10 mil. Out in rainbowed, this man's probably doing like 15 mil beyond that, right? Incredible link set. I'll talk about this in a second, right? But like shocking speed, prepared for battle, and overnight flash in the Super Saiyan first battle, like this link set's incredible. Look at him on the teams he's on. He's not restricted to a team. He could rerun on like all these teams. Like 2 or 3 of these teams in here are like not even relevant teams, but like he's on actually the most 200% leader skills. I believe he's on 9 or 10 200% leader skills, right? He's actually the most like 200% leader skill, like actual buffing 200% unit in the game right now, which is pretty nasty. Or at least the Dokkan Festival unit, from what I saw, someone posted about that on Twitter. Even the Super Saiyan Goku, right? Pretty absurd. He has the crit attack, which hits pretty hard because the attack stacking, guarantee crits here. This ain't good, but I think it could be better, right? But even post a super attack right here, even though he can't dodge after he attacks, if you get lucky with these additionals, he could tank even like, I've seen posts of him tanking Red Zone Broly's super attack. I haven't seen anything about like Meta Cooler Core. I don't think he could tank Cell Max maybe, but he has the potential to tank these really hard over a million damage boss super attacks. Like Broly, he took for like 280k or so, right? And because of his team, you're gonna have a lot of HP on this team, I feel like, right? Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans, there's gonna be a ton of HP there. This guy is incredible. I could like literally talk about him all day, especially since he just came out. I could very easily talk about him all day, but I have my showcase videos up where I give my full thoughts on him. I've done multiple breakdown videos with this guy, I feel like, at this point. So yeah, let me know how you guys are enjoying him as well. But this is my top 10 Dokkanfest TR list. Again, I feel pretty confident in this one. I just like where all the units are placed here. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe you think some of my regions were stupid, right? And that's perfectly fine. It's up to your opinion. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.